Oracle. What should they call her? What should they call her? Oracle. Hey, Grand Rising guys. How are we? I hope all is well. We are doing the 2026 readings, and we're going to get started today on that. And everybody coming in, hello. I just wanted to sorry, the notifications are going mad. But let me set everything up for you guys, okay? We are on All Saints Day today. It is November 1st, okay? And we are beginning the 2026 readings. My goodness, this year flew by, all right? What's good, April? I was going to shut off the comments, but I'm not. Gonna give y'all your shout outs for the year. What's good, Mel? We're gonna get into it. We're gonna do the 2026 readings. Let's talk about who this for. This 2026 reading is for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node. Okay. Also for the cross watchers. What's good, Project Execute? Also for the cross watchers. Okay. I was going to put this private and release it later, but I guess Spirit said no, it's going on public. So that's what we're doing. We're going to do the 2026 readings. And what's good, that crazy bee? And we're going to get into it. I'm going to do this reading a little different. So I say get a beverage, sit back, relax, right? We're going to do a Celtic for the year reads. And in addition to the Celtic, I want to take out a couple of special oracles that's going to let us know what some of the challenges might be. And for those of y'all who have watched, the collective year readings, they be pretty much on point. Okay, so let's light a candle. Let's settle in. Maybe put a little sound. Lower that a little bit. Okay. Did I get it? There we go. That's fine. And we're going to get started. Okay, so to start with, let's look at your Isis, Spirit is saying. Let's look at the Isis deck. Can you guys hear the music, or is that too low? Too low. Okay. What's good, Venus? Is that better? I don't want it to be so loud that it's disturbing or distracting to y'all. Spirit, can you give me an overall card for the energy that Aries should hold throughout 2026. What's good, Alicia? What is their overall focus of how they should maintain their energy? Now, Spirit is bringing me to the fact that Neptune and Saturn will have returned in 2026 back into your sign, Aries, right now. They both were in your sign in 2025. They have retrograded into Aries. Into Pisces. And once those retrogrades are complete, they have to march themselves back over to Aries. And so that hasn't happened yet, but it will be in the next couple of months. Okay, you got the wings of Isis uniting with the angelic self. So there was some things in 2025 Aries. They have to do with triggers. Okay. And so 2025 may have felt like the whole year was about people triggering you, or wondering why things that you felt you already completed or you moved past, why those things was coming up. But Spirit is saying, like an onion, there's levels, and that some of those levels were internal. And so whether you're in a relationship or not, there are certain things that we can only address through interaction with others. I feel like Aries this year was about you trying to discover how to go within, gain self-control, and yet not isolate. Some of you could still be struggling, especially Aries rising, with your 12th house hidden emotions, things that have, over the course of your life, like your childhood triggers and things that have woven themselves into the fabric of your current relationships, whether these be with coworkers, family members, children, spouses, friendships, even enemies. I feel like Aries, the last 3 years has been a lot about you learning to speak softly and walk with a big stick. There's something here about how maybe in your younger years you were more outwardly expressive, and that has run its course. So what I mean by that is that maybe that's not effective in your present situations anymore. Okay, so there needs to be a different execution. And I think that maybe what's good, Miss Glada? I feel like maybe in the last few years, win some, lose some, there's been some situations that made you realize that that is no longer an effective way. Some of you have moved. I also feel like there's something here about being too dedicated to particular outcomes. And although you may be good at having your eye on the prize and having the will to make things happen, if there's unwilling participants, you will cause yourself problems. And I feel like you learned that already. I feel like that's why you're peeling back, learning control, accepting that which you have control over. Okay, so that's the first message. Okay, I feel like that what Spirit is saying here is you're starting to balance out some of that work. So 2026 will be a little bit about looking back and saying, yeah, I would have reacted like this before, and now I have. Now I'm not saying that it still don't make you tight, but I feel like it's 100. Yeah, I just feel like now your concentration is going to be on seeing. And I think maybe 2025, you might have seen some things that didn't go effectively, but you also saw some things that did go effectively when you use self-control. And so, we're kind of like experimental mice, right? When the mouse does something and he gets rewarded for it, he's going to continue to do that. So when you started to see the rewards in 2025 about the stillness, and you're actually realizing it can make you more powerful. So that's the upside. Okay, that shit didn't come easy though. Okay, let's get an affirmation for the year, about what could bring you more money, that kind of mindset. Spirit, can you show me the affirmations for my Aries gang? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node for 2026, please. Can you show me, please, the mantras that will most suit them? Now, for the next, couple weeks, you might not see too much more coming out of me than these 2026 readings. I want to really go hard with them. I want to go in depth. Okay. Spirit, show me, please. Got two in reverse. I see. Okay, so this is about limiting beliefs. Okay. There's going to be a concentrate, especially in the beginning part of the year. This is what you should unpeel. I am the example of getting everything I want. You have some doubts. That one came in reverse. Okay, so it's like the doubts of you saying, well, all my life I had a fight. What's the chances that now it gets easy, right? You got to stop yourself from that repetitive monologue that everybody has running. Speak life over your blessings and blessings over your life. My presence lingers in their thoughts long after I left the room. Okay. That also came in reverse. What is that telling me? Some experiences you had in 2025, you think that you're the only one that carries that. That is not the case. Okay. Things that you have said in your new version of yourself is replaying in somebody's mind, Spirit saying. Okay. The one that came out in the upright, the universe bends to my desires. Nothing is out of reach for me. So what Spirit is saying by that is that if you concentrate, okay, on peeling away the layers of this negative self-speak, you become a master manifester. Everything will bend to your desire, but it has a lot to do with your thought process. So what Spirit is saying is that sometimes you talk yourself out of some blessings, because when things get like, and we're not in control of all the frequencies, we're only in control of our own. So when it gets a little chaotic, right, you might go into the monologue, and that's what Spirit wants you to concentrate on for 2026, so that your affirmations stick and that they hit. Because we've discussed how, manifestation without the action to match it is basically just a wish, right? So if you're doing the work of manifesting this new reality, but then when you get annoyed, you undo it because of the negative self-speak, that's the assignment. That's the assignment, Aries, for 2026. What they're saying is that you're good at manifesting, not so good at holding the frequency when you're upset. Okay, let's look at what the challenge is. I'm going to leave these just in case I need those to refer to. What the challenge, the overall challenge will be for 2026. What is the overall challenge for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node? Okay. What is the overall challenge? 2026. Message. That's literally at the bottom of the deck. What's good, Miss Lotus Wisdom? Okay, I'm going to show you guys these two cards because I think this is 3 cards. So I think this is relevant if you're in a relationship. Okay. You have message, marriage, and lovers. Under that is toil and labor. So what does it say? Not just in marriages, in relationships. With Pisces, with Neptune going into Pisces, we have a real discussion right here, right quick. With Neptune going into Pisces, especially if you're Aries rising. This is the 12th house, things that you cannot see. This is also other people's, like Pisces going into Neptune for the last time in 165 years. We're really seeing things we couldn't see. This could be truths and revelations about relationships, about what's working and what isn't. Okay? About really listening. We're about to be in a Mercury retrograde in a couple of days. And I was looking at some of the transits for next year. And one of the first transits of next year is like a Mercury retrograde that is happening like in January, late January. Okay. And so what am I alluding to right there? We're going to have some wrap up energy now. And then in the beginning of the year, just as we're, getting ready to finish up the Uranus in Taurus retrograde, last one for 84 years, and the Neptune in Pisces, last one for 165 years, and Saturn coming out of there, which happens more often, but still is a mover and a shaker, right? You're having some realizations about what can come with you, what can't. And the relationships that do stay, it's going to be an examination of how they are fed, not just by you, but by the other person. And if they are, I'm a survivor, I'm gonna make it, right? I feel like there's something here about you recognizing that you're the main character, right? Aries spirit is saying that you've been trying way too hard for way too long, and people aren't having to pull their weight because you're so busy trying to make sure that you get, like, if you was to have the cart attached to you, right? Think of a cart attached to you that's holding all your manifestations. And the manifestations may be of your family, of, it's bigger than just you, right? And you have this cart and it has two long sticks and you're running by foot and it has two wheels on it, okay? And you're running, and you're always so busy. What's good to Wanda? Trying to run to get that cart over the finish line. That sometimes you don't realize that those people are not running with you. Okay? And so it's not about what you can take, what you can endure, what you can handle, what you can do. It's no longer about that. That's not what this leg of the journey is about. You've proven that. This is about where you want to go and who you want to do it with and why they are there. 12th house introspection, right? And then you realize that you are the great fortune. And then all of a sudden, you're riding in the cart like a magic carpet. It's just rolling to the finish line. Okay? But it seems like in your... Thank you, Spirit. Spirit said, in your lack of trust, that these people will choose to do this on their own and go in the direction that you want to go with. Right? In your lack of trust that the universe is the true partner in your manifestation, in the inability to surrender, the fear of what will happen if you're not pulling the cart. Okay, Aries? So this year, for 2026, y'all got to remember what we always talk about over here. The point is to do things with ease and grace in the light of love. Right? If the lesson is that we have to surrender and we continuously refuse to do that, what happens? Spirit will ante up until we're forced to surrender. Right? So maybe one of the affirmations that you should use from now to the beginning of the year so that you can kind of get your frequency in alignment. I surrender my need to control outcomes. And I manifest the highest good for both myself and all around me and all those around me. For the highest outcome for all involved. And have faith that what is supposed to be there will show up. Someone is not participating in your vision. It doesn't mean that they don't want to go on the journey with you. It just means that they don't see your vision. They're looking in a different mirror, and you're very focused on them seeing what's in your mirror. I want you to understand something. I'm going to give you an analogy. Let's say I'm driving a car, right? And I'm driving the car and they have a screen, okay? And I keep turning to them saying, "Are you watching the screen? Are you seeing what I'm doing? I'm driving. Are you paying attention? Are you watching the screen?" But while I'm doing that, I'm looking over here. It's almost like you will miss your, like, there's something you need to pay attention to, okay? And this person not seeing your vision is causing you to lose your frequency or concentration or something, okay? So we're going to get started with your Celtic. What did you want me to use? Spirit, show me. Spirit is saying January and February could be challenging times. I believe Aries, that Mars is making some moves in the beginning of the year too. I still have it up. So like I said, Neptune enters Aries on the 26th, okay? So that's its return back into Aries. What's good, Nick? February 14th, Saturn enters Aries. Okay, so you see, I said January and February, right? Saturn conjunct Aries February 20th, so they'll be at the same place in the sky that day, okay? So we got some things going on that in the beginning of the year are going to bring frequencies that are going to cause you to have to respond to others, yes, but also to yourself. Okay, you're going to have to take action in some way on the knowledge that you gained in 2025 about what is healthy for you, what's the main, what supportive, that kind of thing. These will be realizations. Temperance, Sagittarius at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Spirit, can you show me, please, what is the situation for my Aries gang? You've got the Five of Swords. Okay, this is you, I guess, trying to push, make things happen, feeling like it's your responsibility. We're going to clarify these, okay? Spirit, can you show me what is the blockage for my Aries gang 2026, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node? 8 points could be working with others, okay? What is at the foundation for Aries, please? One card, please. For 2026, please, one card. The Tower. There are changes, shifts, things that you Now, the Tower is not always negative, but there's some kind of structures that are being peeled away. Okay, can you show me what is falling away for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, North Node, star? You don't have to be a star, baby. Okay, somebody, your focus is changing. Okay, Spirit, can you show me, please, what's crowning Aries in 2026, please? What will be crowning them, Aries, 2026, please? What will be crowning? One card. The Eight of Swords. Okay, you're going over in your mind what things are of your own making, what things are in your control. Okay, which sounds about right with what we got in the pre. Okay, Spirit, can you show me, please, what is it that will be coming in the near future in 2026? Nine of Swords. Okay, there's some kind of anxiety. After anxiety, there's something you have to release the outcome to, and it's scary. I feel like you're going to be positively rewarded, but first you have to overcome the fear. Okay, you know what it's giving? You know when you were a little kid and you was first learning how to ride a bike, and you're like, don't let go, because you don't have any training wheels on, and then you don't realize that they already let go. Okay, Spirit, can you show me Aries for 2026, please? The Lovers with the Six of Staff. Okay, Spirit, can you show me what is it? How do others see Aries in 2026, please? The Chariot. Well, we're moving on up. And remember, what was the image I said? I said you was pulling the chariot, now you're sitting in it. I said that. Spirit, can you show me for their hopes and fears? You're afraid of heartbreak. Spirit, can you show me the most likely outcome for my Aries? Gang, gang. Six of Cups with the High Priestess. I like it. Bottom of the deck is Queen of Swords. We're going to stand that right here. Wheel of Fortune. You're getting another stab at it. Something that you thought had escaped you, gotten away from you. Something that you felt was too big to accomplish. Okay? We're going to get into it. Spirit, can you show me, please, for my Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, North Node for 2026? Can you show me why this Five of Swords? Why this Five of Swords is here as the situation? I'm going to show you something before I even pull this card. I want to see you carrying all the knives. Look at dude. He's saying his prayers, his affirmations. This guy's over by the water, right? He's getting his stillness. They have their swords down. You're on guard. You got to do everything. And then you turn around and you look at them and you're resentful for the fact that they don't help you because they see you. They see you doing everything. Spirit gonna talk about it. Hermit in reverse. Everybody's having a good time, right? Everybody's having a fucking good time. Five of Swords. Spirit, why is the Five of Swords here? Okay. Well, I don't have a choice. I have to do everything. Because if I don't do everything, then, we're all going to be left out in the cold. But do you see that it's in the Five of Pentacles is in reverse? What about them? They don't have to worry about getting left out in the cold. They don't have to worry about making sure the bills are paid. Well, and maybe you have, adult children that are also, reliant on you. Okay. This could also be tied to an example made by a feminine, possibly your mother. You could have certain expectations about what your role is supposed to be, look like. I feel like these are expectations you set upon yourself. Aries, I say this with all love. Spirit wants you to know you're lovable without giving. You are worthy without doing. You too have the right to exist and take up space. I could feel the exhale. That when you hear it, you feel seen. And yet, in the same breath, you may want to deny that is not you because the fighter in you can't admit that you need. Eight of Pentacles. This is the undue burden that you're taking on. Eight of Coins. Why is this Eight of Coins here in the blockage for my Aries gang? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node. With Judgment. Have you had enough yet? Spirit said, let's say this is a job. You could leave it all on the mat. And with all the layoffs that are coming, still get laid off. And before you are even got your box gone out from that place, they'll be already figuring out who's going to sit at your desk. Do you understand? In those relationships, before you finish letting something go, somebody else might already be thinking who else is going to supply what you've been supplying, because it's not about, look, Nine of Swords. You're taking on the anxiety, the frequency of others, and they are getting to live carefree. And that used to be you, Spirit said. And the King of Pentacles. And you've learned how to create some type of stillness for yourself and some type of financial security. So you feel like it's all on you. Okay, King of Wands with the Ten of Swords. But somebody else is not doing the same thing. Okay. Now the Tower is here. Spirit, can you show me? This is at the foundation. King of Cups in the upright, Emperor in reverse. You're the Emperor. I'll tell you right now, there could be somebody in your life, work, friend, relationship, family, lover, whatever, that isn't assisting you. Okay? Oh, okay. Spirit says it goes back to this mother figure and being feeling like if you don't do it, you get left out in the cold, or you have to do all the things, right? It's because you watch somebody else do that. And the problem that they had was that there was somebody who was comfortable with undermining all that they did, whether verbally, spiritually, emotionally, right? And they would undermine it. And then when this person fell short or couldn't do everything, they would take that moment to say, well, I guess you don't have everything under control. Or obviously that's why you need me, but they're not doing shit. They're just sitting around, right? So it's almost as if, let's say it's a coworker. It doesn't matter who it is. There's somebody around you who purposely sits out on their responsibilities, maybe because you have some kind of joint obligation with this person. And so when what you have to give to carry that cart over the finish line, if it's with one wheel broken or whatever, then they can say, see, you didn't do such a great job. Meanwhile, never acknowledging that they're not doing theirs. Is that making sense? Okay. Meanwhile, at the bottom of the deck, look at you. That's your queen. Okay, male or female, you're on it. You're like, I could do it. I could do it. I do it. I carry it. Right? Back to the Five of Swords. I'm worthy. I can do all of it. I'm going to prove to you that I'm worthy. But meanwhile, they're actually, whoever this is low-key exploiting some kind of wound that you have. Ace of Cups, and then call it love. Seven of Wands. So there's no place soft, Aries. Is that what's going on? There's no place soft? Because if you go and you say, well, I need assistance, they're going to say, well, I thought you had everything. I thought you know how to do it. You know, this is you. You're supposed to do this. Okay? The star is what's falling away for 2026. Spirit. I said to you when I saw the star, when I first pulled out, you know, and I always advise with the yearly readings, you know, many of you rewatch the regular readings. You definitely need to rewatch the yearly readings. And you may even have to come back like at 6 months, right? To be like, whoa, that shit really went down like that. Okay. But I said when I saw the star that you're changing directions. Because somebody, you thought that something outside of you was the North Star, baby. Well, if I don't do all this and I don't do all that, then I'm not worthy, or they won't, you know, why would they pick me? This is that narrative. What's good, Andrea? New subscriber, my beautiful spiritual sister and family. Oh, thank you, my love. Thank you so much for joining the family. Okay, so it feels like what's happening here is that you're really realizing that low-key somebody is drilling holes in the boat, and all of that work that you've done, right? What if you're carrying dead weight? What if there was a bag of bricks in that fucking cart? Why are you carrying that? The world, you're getting ready. You're getting ready to look in the fucking cart. Who the fuck ain't walking? Who ain't pulling? Who don't want to carry their shit? Who low-key dumped extra shit in my cart? Bag lady. Wheel of Fortune. Okay? I mean, the Wheel of Fortune is here across, but the world came out, right? So basically, you've done. Okay? Queen of Swords. Okay? I feel like there's a breaking point. I feel like, okay, listen, this could be right around your birthday. I feel like something happens. I feel like somebody says something slick. I think they said it at the wrong moment. I have an Aries stellium, and my best friend is an Aries. So when I say, and like we've been best friends since like 45 years. Somebody's gonna say something at the wrong moment. And you see this bird that's flying? That's gonna be your vision of the macro on a situation. Okay? And you're gonna see it from an overall view finally. Like, oh, fuck no. No. I've been carrying the anxiety, and this is a prison of my own making. And I want to fucking heal. I want to rest. I want to stop pulling carts full of bricks for other fucking people. Because I got a new fucking perspective. And sorry, not sorry. There goes you. I feel like the beginning of the year, it's a lot of tension right around the Aries. I mean, the January, February finishing of the Neptune and Saturn transits in Pisces for the last time in a bit. And that's not, listen, I'm not singling you out. It's going to be difficult for everybody, right? But there's definitely here recognizing, oh, you know, give you an example. My kids talk to me crazy, but they expect $200 sneakers for Christmas. My spouse knows I work 12-hour days, 6 days a week. They still expect me to cook dinner. My job downside, it's all about taking stock about other people and how much they expect from you versus what they expect from themselves. And there's a realization here with this Eight of Swords about how you have permitted, supported this to happen because it tied into your worthiness. You may have felt like you wouldn't be chosen if you didn't do all these things. Spirit's asking you, who else was like that? Who first modeled that to you? Eight of Swords, and why? Okay? It's like with the star coming up in the upright. Remember, the star was what was falling away. Two things is fitting to happen. Eight of Swords, you begin the year like this is some bullshit, and I created this shit. That's the crazy fucking part. And I need to focus on myself, and I need to redirect and reestablish. I also feel like you deciding that you no longer want to pull other people's rocks or whatever, because you have the Queen of Pentacles here in reverse. There's something here where you recognize like, oh, the Queen of Pentacles in the upright, she's all about her self-worth. In reverse, it's like it makes you feel unworthy. Like, oh, this happened because I allowed people to make me feel unworthy, or that I'm looking at that within myself. And the King of Swords, on Wands, which is your king, and the 10 of Swords. Okay, so it's you, like, that's it. I have to take action on the fact that I made a prison of my own making that was making me feel unworthy. Whether it's cyclical because I thought it, and so since that's the frequency I'm in resonance with, so I ended up with somebody who purposely is going to undermine that, because maybe that's what they need to feel worthy themselves. I will be a father figure. Put your tiny hand in mine. Right. So this could be an emulation of a situation like parenting, that kind of thing. And then, although the careers and the other aspects could look very different, very healthy, but the intricate interpersonal is mimicking something. Okay. All right. So you got the 9 of Swords coming in. This is your fear. Because you're having this realization. I feel like you have this realization in the beginning of the year. And this is maybe March. Am I brave enough to let go? That doesn't necessarily mean walk away. It just means let go. And what will happen will happen. Right? 9 of Swords. Why is this here? Remember that when the divine is bringing you things that you've manifested, right? And you're holding on, you cannot open your arms to receive because your hands are full. Okay? So this is the 9 of Swords with the 6 of Wands. There's a victory if you can allow to let go, right? But to let go means that you have to sit still. January, February, March-ish, in that realization, like, oh, I created this. Even though this person, place, or thing may be doing X, Y, and Z, in the base of it, I created it because it mimicked something. So I was unrecognizably, instead of using this situation to choose things that would make me feel more worthy, I fell into a pattern of proving my worthiness to something that was unworthy. Hierophant. This could be, this could be court. This is religion, faith, but it's also the Husband card. Somebody else, after you come to a realization, could be fucking shook. Oh, I'm trapped like a fool. I'm in a cage. I can't get out. Because now they may be like, hey, can we fix this? I know you've been trying to tell me for 3 years. I know I wasn't taking you seriously, but I don't got a clean fucking sock. I lost 10 pounds. My nerves are fucking bad. Okay? I just heard, I miss the way your hair smells. Okay, somebody was too comfortable. Okay? For how they see you, you got the 6 of Wands with the Lovers. All of a sudden, for somebody who was moving like you didn't have power, or who this person was undermining your power, it feels like the power is back in your hands. Spirit, why is the 6 of Wands here? Okay? You have, for quite some time, have been feeling like blocked. Okay? Powerless. This person was basically, exhibiting power that wasn't legit. It's like their power was coming from undermining yours. Okay, here goes that 5 of Swords again. the first card that we started. Okay, with you having to carry all the weight while they get to enjoy, right? And I feel like you're recognizing that this person's method was very passive aggressive in a way. And then they would gaslight you. Like, what are you saying? Like, I didn't do nothing. And the Three of Swords. So you're really examining how something, the way you're making me feel, right? Lovers is here. With the Ace of Coins. Okay, so you're choosing a new direction. You're also choosing situations that feed you, like that feed your soul, you know, financially, physically, mentally. Okay, I also feel like all of a sudden somebody is ready to contribute, or they're saying that. Careful. Page of Wands with the Nine of Cups. Spirit's asking you to consider, will this person, if they decide that they, thank you, Spirit, if they decide that they would like to carry their own stuff, will they continuously do it? Or will they just give you some type of lip service so that you can be happy long enough and they'll go back to the same shit, Knight of Pentacles, and never give it to you? Okay? We'll never give you enough. And the Strength card, because you're strong enough. You can handle it, right? Right, Aries? Okay? Why? Because this Chariot is in the position of how people see you, because they see you fitting a fucking bounce. Well, thank you, Spirit. Remember I said in the beginning, if you came late, you got to catch it from the beginning. And I said you were pulling the cart and all of a sudden you sitting in it. Well, I want you to look at the Sphinx. You see the Sphinx has his face? Now that person, you got him by the tail. Now that person is sitting down because they're like, what do you mean? You really expect me to do it? I really got to pull it? So they're afraid that you're leaving them behind. King of Pentacles in reverse. I don't know if that looks like they're really gonna put in the work, or especially if this is like finances. If, you know, the King of Pentacles in the upright is very reliable, very sound. In reverse, not so much, right? And the Lovers, they may tell you, but they may not actually do that. Okay, Nine of you see? So it goes, then you're like, well, then fuck it then. I can do bad on my own or some shit like that. Okay. You got the Three of Swords in the position of your hopes and fears. With the Three of Swords. And there was a card that said, my presence lingers in their thoughts even long after I left the room, and it was in reverse. And I said, I need to leave that out. I knew I needed to leave it out. Why? Because it's Three of Swords on the Three of Swords. Your fear is that if you walk away from this relationship, which could be a very long-term relationship, a long job, a family member, whatever the situation may be, you think that they don't got no skin in the game. and that they're not going to care, and that only you're going to be the heartbroken one, only you're going to go through the things, only you're going to be crying over spilled milk. But it's not true, baby. Okay? And while you're afraid that they won't care, you can never get what your needs met, because that leaves you holding on. 10 of Pentacles, family, generational wealth, and legacy. So how can this person make the choice to choose you if you don't allow that to ever happen? And let's say they don't choose you. Let's strip it all the way the fuck down. Then all that's going to happen is that you will have seen that for what it is. Reinvent the frequency that you are in, and now it opens space for that which you really want, for that which you really desire, and for that which you deserve. Okay? But while you're worried about while you're looking at that screen, do you care? Are you going to care if I'm gone? Do you care? Do you care? Do you care? You can't see where you're going, babes. 6 of Cups with the High Priestess. That's the outcome. Spirit wants you to concentrate more on your inner knowing, on getting back to a different mindset. Okay? Let's do this. 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups, Spirit. Why is the 6 of Cups here? You're afraid that if you let go, they might say that they're going to come back, but their passion will wane, and that the Chariot, that you'll have to go it alone, or that you'll have to do all the work again. And the only reason that would happen is if you decide to take that back on. 9 of Pentacles. Okay? Pay attention to the 2 Sphinx here. Right? And how there's a night and day type situation. You need to create the balance within you. Okay? High Priestess here, Spirit. Why? Because while you are staying silent, you have an inner knowing about the situation. Okay, and it leaves the 8 of Swords, prison of your own making, 5 of Wands. There's a part of you that knows that this person is also living in a prison of their own making. And the conflict, 5 of Wands with the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. It's like you're afraid of what happens if you take your power back and you let go, and then this person decides that because it feels like first, before they surrender, or once they realize that you're serious about being treated in a particular way, then they switch to conflict mode, because that's what they've done internally the whole time, right? So now it would be more visible because it's not working anymore. You're resisting, right? And even when they said they'll do what you said, but they didn't really fucking mean it, right? Then you're more pushing for what it is, right? So what happens? Then now they're just out and out refusing, right? Causing conflict, making it difficult, right? Because why? Because you got the eye on the prize. Because why? Because you got the 3 of Wands with the 6 of Swords. Because you're going to calmer waters with a new fucking beginning. The Fool is here. Okay? And they feel a little foolish, okay, because they're missing some main event here. Okay? Could be like 3 months they don't see you or something, and then the High Priestess is here. You might go silent. Okay, the Tower. It's like they have to deal with their own shit, but before they can deal with it, you have to deal with the letting go. Okay, you got the Queen of Swords as the overall energy of the read for you. The Knight of Wands with the Knight of Swords crossed and the Eight of Pentacles. It's like you want to get back to the old you, the you that would have fun and have less responsibilities because you've been taking on all the responsibilities. And the Knight of Swords, but you don't want to argue with somebody. This could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, doesn't have to be, right? And then the Eight of Pentacles in the upright, right? I feel like somebody wants to work something with you, okay? But you have the Page of Pentacles with the World. I feel like Aries is a large part of you that will examine it after. I feel like you'll observe, especially if this is like a long-term marriage or something, you'll observe their new behavior. But I feel like a large part of it, you is already feeling like that's opportunity has sailed, because although you'll be observing, the changes in them, you're still coming up as the Queen of Swords. Okay. It feels like you want to heal something, like you want to be healed from something. And then the Hangman. Okay. So it's like you just have a new perspective, and what this person may be offering may no longer be what it is that you really and truly desire. And they might have trouble understanding that, because for so long, their method of undermining would make you work harder on the relationship, right? And they always knew how to bring you back into the fold, okay? But without that incentive of trying to prove that you are worthy, then what leverage do they have over you? Damn, Spirit. Then what leverage do they have over you if you take that power away, which the whole time was only making them feel, because they're the ones who have that feeling of unworthiness, which is why they were trying to leverage it over you to build themselves up. So it's like once you see that shit for what it is, you can't unsee it. Okay, I'm going to pull one chakra card. Okay, to see where in your body this is all hitting you and where you need to focus your meditations before we get up out of here. That was a very deep reading, Aries. Okay. I'm going to try to do one a day of these until we knock them out, barring, any other situation. So keep your eyes peeled. Spirit, can you show me, please? Moon card for my Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node. Right? And the chakra that is going to be most affected in 2026. And where they need to focus their attention on their chakras. Discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. And I feel like this one's different. Like other years, it might have been like, I'm going to make sure that the kids get everything what they want for Christmas. And if it means I have to work all the hours, I'm going to work all the hours, right? Or like you saw discipline in another way. And I feel like this year, the discipline is going to be about not responding. Okay? A lot of times, Aries, people can get the best of you just because they can elicit a response from you. And I feel like you're taking the control back, okay? And then at the bottom of the deck, you have gratitude. I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. I feel like part of the mission that you learned in 2026 is that you are worthy, and you could have never known that if you didn't take a risk to put yourself first. Okay, Aries. So part of this year is going to be about, you know, where along the lines did I become scared? Scared to let go, scared to be free, scared to walk in this journey. When did this happen? And how do I free myself? And once you do that, okay, this is not freeing yourself from people. This is freeing yourself from outcomes. And once you do that, things start to fall into place. Okay, Aries gang. So that's what I have for my Aries gang. I hope that this reading gives you a good map for some of the things that you have to examine in 2026. And if this is your first time watching me, please do subscribe. And if you are interested in more in-depth conversations like this, join me on the Patreon. Okay, I'm wishing you all light and love. Blessings on blessings. Bye, guys.